To talk about Kundalini Serpentine Energy. And the reason I wanted to speak about this is that you hear so much of that word Kundalini yoga, and Kundalini is so it's rising in you and you're getting, you're developing your spiritual acumen and on and on. But really, to me, what it represents is an opportunity for us to look at the energetics of our system and to recognize and to solidify our practice of taking responsibility for that energy. Because whether we do it consciously or unconsciously, we're offering that into the world around us. And we have an opportunity because of the way our system is created that we can decide and cultivate and add into the universe energy at a certain frequency. So I think that just being aware, holding it in our awareness and our consciousness as a practice, even outside of if you're not a Kundalini yoga person or you're not studying the chakras or it's not part of that sort of Eastern tradition for you, it still is inherently built into your system. So whatever language we want to use around it is just a way of communicating, but it does not contain it. That you can look at that energy and manage it. And particularly as we see the number of women on this call who are looking to heal their bodies. I mean, we're all on some level, there's something that we are looking at, but in circumstances that require full attention to it, not just a passing thing, that we need to have practiced and to keep our capacity at a high level to be able to be in a resonance with ourselves. So I want to just talk a little bit about Kundalini. You all know, of course, about it because you're in this spiritual world, so you've heard about it over and over, but just as a reminder. So Kundalini is a Sanskrit word. We know it means coiled or the coiled one. So it refers to the energy that is in some people more or less dormant that sits at the base of our spine. And we talk about it as being one that moves through the energy centers of our body as it coils up through our body. So starting with our sit bone and moving its way up our body. And that it's often referred to as a snake because of that coiling action. And that it's considered feminine energy, divine feminine, a form of Shakti, which we talk about a lot. And it's the source of our creative power and spiritual potential. So we have a way of tending it that can work on all these different levels. It's not just about maybe I'm wakening up or something. It's about how do I tend my physicality, my energetics, my emotional. All these things are related to the moving Shakti through your body. So we really want to pay attention. There are practices that hone it in and work on it, which of course many of you have done, the meditation and yoga. And some people, we hear stories about people having spontaneous Kundalini awakenings. I actually know several people, not several, two, that have had that experience in a way that's so notable that it couldn't be anything else but. And it wasn't that attractive in the moment, I have to say. It was really rather disturbing and overwhelming in their lives. So I think the gentle nature of waking up and utilizing that energy is really more pleasant for us. And we can do that without a mindset of I'm trying to make it get all the way up and open, like there's a goal. There's no goal. If there were to be, it's an aim to be activating and tending that energy within our system and having the time and spending the time to imagine it as this coil. So when we talk about utilizing this energy, there's an old passage in the Tantric Eastern sacred teachings that says that Kundalini is not meant for those who are not in devotion. And what does that mean? Is that like a standard tantric disclaimer, or is that something to see more deeply? And I think that the warning was not about that you don't want to awaken and to cultivate that. It was that we spend too much time in what is the outcome of it, and that we're looking for the arrival of something rather than being in just the nurturing and the process of it developing within our system organically through our attention, which might include disciplines, but that it isn't about I'm getting somewhere. And if you're really, because that when we're looking to just get somewhere, we're not in the devotion of the self, we're in the action of some arrival somewhere. But it's interesting that in these ancient writings, it was already spoken to. Those who are not in devotion might not really need to spend too much time in their Kundalini. This is a very personal experience. And one of the things that I always enjoyed or appreciated about Sadhguru and his teachings was that he really taught us not to share our own personal spiritual experiences in terms of what's happening in your body with other people, because they tend to look at themselves and say, have I reached that? Have I already done that? Did I pass that? Like as a comparison. And because the energetics of our body, it's such a personal experience. You cannot get outside of your body and compare your experience to somebody else's. You'll never know with the words they're using what it feels like in their body. Just as we don't know what pain is. It's very, I mean, 1 to 10, what's your pain? It's still your scale. And your scale and someone else's scale may not be the same. Those are very difficult ways to compare ourselves. So in this process, we can look at the Kundalini and the energetics as being both a personal and a collective experience. Because as we're adding our energy into the collective around us, we are contributing to and influencing and impacting collective energy. And if we look at the Kundalini energy as the source of creative, like a pulse of creation, that what comes out of that, what sparks, like the way I see this spiral of Kundalini is that as it's spinning, sparks are flying off. And these sparks are like little packets of creativity. And when we are in that process of sparking those little pieces and packets off, we're feeling inspired and we're feeling enlivened and we're feeling the vitality of our energetic system, which is really nice to sit in that. It's really pleasing to sit in that, just as a way that we walk through our day. So, one of the opportunities that we have is to take in this idea of spirals as we just move through our day. So, nature, we all know in nature, it's almost everything that you can study in nature has a spiral effect. You look into the spirals of flowers and seashells, and it's over and over that the spiral shape and movement occurs in nature everywhere. And we are a piece of nature. So we're just mimicking within our body that same shape, design, and movement that is part of the creation, the maintenance, and the dissolution, which is the pattern that all creation goes through. There's a creation, and then that's the maintenance of it, and then it dissolves, and then something new is created again. And we are in that process, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. We absolutely are in it. So how are we tending the spiral of energy and creativity within our system so that we are as much a piece of nature and life itself as possible? We see in, when we talk about it in nature, and I mentioned flowers because you see it so naturally, even the unfolding of the petals of well, of any flower, but I'm thinking specifically of a lotus flower as it opens, and you see that movement of how the inner leaves and they start to move out, or the inner petals. It is just so exquisite. But we see it also in rock formations. We see it in the deep ocean terrain. We see it, the meandering of rivers, tornadoes. We see it in nature all the time. So how do we take that experience, and as we walk, like on a walk, are you noticing the spirals around you? Are you imagining them as sitting inside your body as a piece and a part of the spiral that's unfolding inside of you? Because we are a piece of creation, and we want to cultivate that relationship with our knowingness that we are part of that. Because if otherwise, we can look at life as it's just happening around us, but it's not happening around us, it's happening through us. It's happening through us. We are that powerful in our creation capacity, and in our how we set our intentions, and how we set our awareness, and how all those things that we tend give us the entree into that creative power. And that is what we're here for. We're here to spin and spark off creativity and inspiration for ourselves and others. That's what we're here for in this soul journey. So Kundalini is not just a singular energy. It's an atomic force that vibrates in the cosmos. It's so big, and yet we look at the micro and the macro, and it's just the same thing happening, and it's happening in this small way within our own system. So what I'd love for us to imagine into is visualizing, using the power of our visualization to see our internal energetic structure as this spiral that starts at the root in our sit bone, at the root, our root chakra, and is moving through our system. And you can visualize it even as you're just walking about your day. And it's kind of like in another way, I see it as it's spinning, is throwing off that which I no longer need. Like it's letting go of things while it's creating this centrifuge of movement. It's also tossing off things that are no longer needed in my system. It's almost like rotor-rooter happening inside my body, and it's good. So let's then spend this next week imagining into, as we move through our day, where am I noticing spirals around me? And how am I just in my, whenever I just have a moment of just sort of emptiness and my mind is, or when I want to pull my mind back, that I just let it see the beauty of a spiral. Maybe I see it within my body, I see it within a flower. I see this spiral matrix that is so a part of the creation that we are born into and we live through, that we can access so much through this visual, and that we want to seed it as part of the way that we see the world and the movement that we see in the world, because then we've entered into this other relationship and we want to be in that relationship. So take this week to imagine into this vortex spiral and level up. Like, let's just level up to a new place where we're present with it. Rather than it just being a practice when we go sit somewhere, let's just have it be our walking practice of allowing and moving through this visual and this sensation of a spiral. I love the uplifting sense of that. When you see something spiraling and moving, there's a sense of movement that's happening that's really beautiful. And you see it in dance. I bet you're going to see this today, Penny and Ocean, when you see this dance. Look for spirals and that movement of energy that's happening with dancers. It happens on canvases. It's happening everywhere around us. So yummy, so yummy. So let's do it this week and let's report back and see spirals have stepped into and maybe activated our awareness in another way of this life of creation that we are living. Let's see what.
Beautiful. Okay, this last week, Saturday was very slow. Today is more active. It fits with the Kundalini. So come up standing and ensure that you have a good space around you. And Gabi, you can just move slowly. Yeah? Don't force anything. But as Nicholas so nicely said, we look at the Kundalini force often dormant in our first and second energy center. So that's what we will activate right now. And you can do it fast, you can do it slow. That's really up to you. Just that you imagine that you move the energy upward. So we bring our arms forward, we go into a fist and we squat as much as we can. Exhale, and we push the open palms back. Inhale, and focus on your perineum. That first energy center where the Kundalini is located, it's very dense. But it's also not only just dense, it's also strong. Yeah. If it wouldn't be strong, it wouldn't be able to hold up all the movements above. So let's do 10 more. Good. Now we activate it a little bit more. Interlace your fingers overhead and just bring one foot forward out to the side and the other. This will get the circulation going. So if this is too much for some of you, you can just step one foot out to the side. Yeah, so that will be totally fine. Last 10, and 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Good. Keep your arms here, palms facing forward. Step back. I'll show you from the back. Bring my right foot back, arms come down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. It's also great for our balance if we do this. If we cross, remember we work also the brain. Last 10. Beautiful. Good. Let's go up into our next energy center. Hands around our waist. Bring your hips really to the left, forward, to the right, and back. Big hip rotation. So your torso is actually steady. It's truly just the hips moving. So here we stimulate more our kidneys, reproductive organs, the water, which has a lot to do with what Nicola said with creativity. You know, if the Kundalini energy can rise, if there are not many blockages, we can be extremely creative. Good, let's reverse. Last 2 rotations. Good, and the next one is really important for all of us, but you can hold on to a wall or a chair. Yeah, come onto your right foot. Just imagine here's a wall and you would hold on to. And just do left hip rotations. Not only do we help our second energy center, but we also help our balance, which has to do with our 6th energy center, staying on one foot. The more we grow up, the more we need to practice balance. Let's reverse the direction. Go back to the side and forward. Last two. And then we bring our left foot onto the ground. Just for a moment, we sway from side to side. Feet solid on the ground. Good. Right leg. And sometimes we are more stable on one side. It's very common. Don't judge it, don't make it wrong. Just be present to it. Two more rotations in this direction. And then reverse. Last two. Beautiful. And just come back to the swaying from side to side. So we're strengthening right now the trunk, so to speak, in our body. Walking our feet further apart, but so that you have a solid stand. Now bend your knees and inhale, twist to the left, exhale, twist to the right. We need the stability right now from the earth, yeah, and the flexibility in the second chakra to move into the third, getting the Kundalini up into the higher places. Last three. Good. And then walk your feet closer together. Sway a little bit from side to side again. Good. One more for that center, for our digestive tract. Arms forward. I step back with my right foot and my right arm goes back. Then I step forward and they face each other. Left. And I follow the arm that goes back with my eyes. So I work all of the lower triangle right now. And incorporate already the heart center because I'm moving my arms. Last 10. Good, last one. And sway. So if the Kundalini energy flows freely, it flows actually in a clockwise rotation upward. Yeah, if there's an energy center blocked, it goes counterclockwise. If there's an energy center within us, the pendulum would just go like this, back and forth, either forward or sideways. So bring your thumbs below your pinkies. And we just move our arms up, exhale down. Working for our heart, for our lungs. You can go fast or slow, that's up to you. Last three. Beautiful. Let your arms hang, sway a little bit, keep your balance. Let's go into the upper. Just imagine the Kundalini curved clockwise up into your heart. Now we want to bring the energy up into your throat because that's another center of creativity where the Kundalini energy likes to be expressed. That's where we use our communication, our voice. So we bring our left shoulder up on the inhale, exhale, right. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now inhale right, exhale left. Good, both shoulders. Inhale, exhale, drop. Perfect. Let your shoulders hang, sway from side to side. Gentle neck rolls. Just do it to your own liking. Inhale towards the heavens, exhale down to earth. If you hear some cracking noises, that's very common. Don't worry about it. Just don't strain your neck. Reverse the direction, please. Good. Sway from side to side. Keep your head steady. So for the sixth chakra, the sixth energy center, that has to do with your vision for your creativity. You know, what are you envisioning into? So again, hold on to if need be. Otherwise, you have a few options. Let me show you how I do my feet if it would be not possible to bring my foot up. So you could have your left heel against your right heel. Yeah, left foot's are out to the side. Fingers are in prayer pose in front of your heart center. And you gaze to the ground or something in front of you. That's totally working perfectly. The main point is to keep your eyes open in tree pose. You can bring also your left leg up to the inside of your thigh if that is accessible. And you keep the gaze. Yeah, because it's the third eye that we want to activate. So we use our two eyes to focus and channel the vision of our third into the unknown and into the unseen. And then slowly bring your palms down. Left foot comes onto the ground and sway again from side to side. And then find the position for your right foot. I highly recommend that you find a moment in a day where you truly stand on one foot. If you're in tree or have the opposite leg just forward, just be on one foot and then switch. Always check your balance. Now when we start to grow up, we lose the connection to earth. Yeah, that means we lose the connection from our feet to the ground. That's when we tend to trip and fall. But we can counteract it with a little practice daily. And that could be at the kitchen sink or wherever you are. We'll bring your hands back down. Sway. And then we just do one for our crown. Bring your arms up, the palms face each other. And if you want to channel energy into your crown, you bring your palms towards each other without touching. It's inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. As if you want to feed your energy system from the heavens downward. Good. And inhale, reach up. Exhale, now sweep through your auric field. Inhale up. Exhale through your auric field. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Place your left hand onto your hara, right hand onto your chest. And just take 3 deep breaths.